revitalization, and we're going to have a great time with Savannah, who's going to be talking about putting your business out there, because sometimes you got to, as Black women, we don't like doing it, but sometimes we've got to have acceptance of what we can and can't do. And it's one of the things that I'm about to cover shortly. I'm about to run a workshop all about not falling into the procrastination cycle and all the things that come and distract you, which makes you fall into the valley of despair. We want to stay out of the valley of despair. So we've got Michelle, we've got Savannah, we've got Shy, who is just like the house of fun. She's the ideas queen. She's all about leadership. She's all about understanding how to deliver yourself to get attention. And we've also got Cheryl. Cheryl's got an amazing, powerful story. Cheryl goes into schools, non-profits that are going bankrupt. She turns them around. She is a boss.
You're going to meet Cheryl. It's going to be
Cheryl's serious. Yeah. Cheryl's serious.
Talk about business, get down to business.
She gets
Cheryl's
down to business. Right. So there are 5 of us in the studio. Savannah will be joining us virtually. So that gives you a panel of 6 well-accomplished Black female entrepreneurs that will be coming to you in and between all the keynotes and the speakers. We'll be laughing, we'll be crying, we're going to be vulnerable. One thing you're going to say about this community is we keep it real. There is no, you're going to see some footage of me on Instagram, by the way, of me coming out the airport and coming here yesterday. Trust me, I look amazing right now, because yesterday I had dark circle under my eyes. And you think, how do these Instagrammers pull their little trolley looking all hot and hooty? They're all made up, the eyelashes. Like, how do you have enough time in your day to do that?
That's their job.
Is that their job? Well, yeah. Lord knows I didn't look like that as I was coming here. So yeah, we're coming. This is a community that's for real women.
Yeah. Definitely. You're gonna see the ins and outs. Listen, I'm the biggest crybaby. I'm a very emotional person. So don't be surprised if you see tears. Actually, some of the stories that I was listening to, and on Natalia's the spotlight features, some of you ladies brought me to tears, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to
we've been through a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody that's featured on here has got a story.
Yes. It's like amazing. So it's deeper, which I told Natalia, and I thank Alicia for introducing me to Natalia. There's something special about Real. When you meet Real and Real connects with Real, you have a lot of communities, right? But these communities don't give you real support. They're there for the metrics, or they're there for, just the hype of it all. This is very different, because I would like to say it's a family affair, and what you see is what you get. There's no surface levels to this. And I felt compelled to be here because we genuinely want to see you guys win.
We want to see Black women win. I said it.
It's just amazing. There's not much for me to say other than that, but it's amazing, and it motivates something different inside of you when you hear all these stories and you see what can be done when you stick together. It's just beautiful. So
love it. Yeah. Right, we've got Tony Patrick asking, what's the link to share with others? The QR code is above my head. I know I've got an administrator here in the virtual room. Princess, if you could put a link in the chat, that would be amazing. Sometimes I know when you're on your phone, it's like, how do I scan the QR code? You just got to use Google Lens, by the way. If you've got Google Lens, just click on it and it will, you bring up the image, that they've got the QR code on it. It will automatically bring you to the page. And Tony, if you scroll up to the chat, you will see a lot of the speakers' ticket links, which will bring you into getting a ticket, and you'll get a schedule. Okay. Cheryl Cooper, another funnel builder. That's another thing. Before I go on to, I'm going to be delivering a workshop, by the way, ladies, momentarily. Cheryl Cooper is a funnel builder. That's another thing that they say about us as well, Maria. That, actually, and this isn't just an us thing, it's an entrepreneur thing. Oh, I don't want to share my idea because someone might steal it, or someone might take my customers. Well, I'm a funnel builder, and I met another funnel builder, Cheryl. At the moment, we have just finished a project together, and watch this space, because we're going to be coming together and doing things.
Big things.
Because we've come together. If we do the same thing and come together, we will win bigger. Okay, so again, this summit just brings about a lot of connections, a lot of networking, and that's another thing, ladies. On your ticket group, network with one another. These spaces are a great space for you to find people to partner with. Partnerships are really, really important. The world and the system has made us feel like people are going to steal things from us, or people are going to do things to us. There are bad people in this world, and someone's always going to steal something for you or do something bad for you. If you start to live your life that way, you just keep attracting that into it.
That's right.
You've got to lead from a place of love.
Right. And guess who's going to find you? Your tribe will find you, right? So you exude what you believe in. That's all in the mirror suite. In the mirror suite, you have to have a foundation that you know you are inside, right? And that clarity and what comes from that, you're going to attract the right people to you. And the wrong people are going to come too, but you know when to push them away, right?
Yeah.
Right. Natalia say, that's it. And I'm here to keep everybody on time. So it's time for you to go.
Let's run this workshop. And it's Sunday. Let us leave you. So it's in the UK, to be fair, you're 7:45. So those of you that have got school uniform to iron, or you've got to get your own work clothes ready, you've got to I know I'm off duty this week. Hey, Mum.
Thank you, Mom.
We know that time is getting on, but we just wanted to come on air. As you know, Andrea opened up the stage, blessed it all. So I'm going to run a workshop for you, and then we're going to see you here tomorrow.
Okay, bye, guys. I will see you mañana, bright and early.
Right. Let me share my screen. Let's get going. Let's get some education, some wisdom. And this is not me speaking at you, by the way. I have to remind myself of this all the time about not falling into the valley of despair. Some of us might call it procrastination. Some of us call it the failure cycle. Some know it as the valley of despair. Language is a very important thing. But irrespectively, learning more and being more focused on what you want is what's going to bring what you want into existence. So with that said, I am just going to get my screen up. Bear with me. All right, bear with me, ladies. Sorry, I've got it up and I'm thinking this is Zoom, and it's not Zoom. So let me download it. There we go. So let me come back and upload it. So we want to upload a file.
So while Natalia's doing that, I've got to tell you guys, you have to think about procrastination. It's actually just as bad as perfectionism. They're two hand in hand, right? We'll talk about those things, but when we procrastinate for whatever reason, it really is going to do us a disservice, right? So it's good to think about how we can not procrastinate, even if it's in a small way, right, Natalia?
I couldn't agree more.
Just a small way. We're not telling you have to, change your whole life overnight, but take small steps in order to accomplish your goals, right? One at a time.
Right, I'm ready.
Okay,
so
good.
I'm going to add to the
ladies.
stage. Sorry, I'm going to play around a bit here. I want to be able to... Sorry, I'm just testing a few views for those of you that are on social media. There we go. Let's put it here. So this is how to have your best year ever. We are the first quarter into the year, and quite often this is the second quarter coming up. If we don't find our way, the next thing you know, it'll be Christmas and we'll be going into 2027 and we are not where we want to be. So before we kick off tomorrow, I want to look at how you're going to focus and have your best year ever. I want you to all think about what it is that you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Get your phone, get a notepad, and this is the type of lessons that you're going to get all week. And I want you to really think about, what do I want to focus? Because by understanding what you're going to focus on is going to give you a much better idea and understanding of actually what are the type of masterclasses, workshops, roundtables I want to focus on this summit. How can I use the top 100 most powerful Black women summit to guide me on my journey? So sometimes you can have an overload of content and information where you feel anxious, you feel like, how am I going to get it all done? You feel overwhelmed. So I don't want the 100 masterclasses to overwhelm any of you. So to avoid the overwhelming, I really want you to think about, what is my focus for the next 12 months? What is it that I want to achieve? Do I want to get rid of all my debt? Do I want to be in a profitable business and stop bootstrapping? Do I want to, leave my job and be able to do that? Do I want to grow my business and expand my team? Like, ask yourself like a question. And I want you to think about SMART objectives. Many of you would have heard about SMART objectives, but you always want to make sure that you're being specific. A lot of people even say to me, yeah, Natalia, I pray all the time, but my prayers don't come through. And I always ask people, are you being specific? Like, God wants you to be specific. It's okay for you to ask for what you want and give detail. I don't know if any of you have seen the Oprah series with I can't remember her name, the actress. I cannot believe I can't remember her name. But she talks about how she visualized the man down to what size he was, his muscle was, his height was, what he did. Like, she visualized this man in great detail. And he turned up and showed up. Okay, so I just want you to really be specific. Can you measure what it is that you want? What I mean by that is that, are you taking the steps? Is it quantifiable that you can say, this month I've done X amount to get to that goal? Okay, is it attainable? Like, is it reachable? Many times people are in like minus 100K debt and they're like, I'm going to be at 8 figures by the end of the year, but they don't have a business idea. So you've got to think, is it attainable? Is it realistic? Okay, can it be done in the time span that we've got? If we're saying the next 12 months, some of you might be saying by the end of this year. 3 months has already gone. That's only 9 left. So always make sure that you're being specific, okay? And the best way to be specific is just to avoid that valley of despair. And I want to go through a system that's going to help you avoid that valley of despair and stay out that failure cycle. So the first thing I want you to do is really focus on your plans. Okay, like, what is it you want to achieve? I want you to jot that down right now. Don't overthink it. Manage your emotions. Vibrations are really important. If you know there's a vibration and an energy that comes into your life and it often brings you off track and negative, try and limit or get rid of it. Like, I like living with the Care Bears. The Care Bears is a really great place to live. And I give all of you some Care Bear power right now. Okay, make sure. Sorry people, we've got a bit of drilling going on. We're getting the studio ready for tomorrow, so apologies for that. So it's gonna have to fight my big loud voice. So I want you to just think about your work-life balance. You can't work all the time. Burnout is going to be a topic that we often hear about. Right, I want someone who's in the chat to tell me, how bad and loud is the drilling? Is my voice combating it? Okay. The drilling has calmed down. Okay, so that work-life balance is really important. There's going to be a lot about burnout, by the way, and it's something that you've got to figure out. I'm still figuring it out. Okay, you want to think about, how many customers do I want? Do you have no customers and you just want 10? Do you have 10 customers but you want to scale and you want 100? How much profit do you want to make? Turnover versus profit are two very different things. How much time do I even have? So maybe you want to win time back. So just think about, what is your focus? What are the things that you need to focus on? Because
being realistic.
Yeah, and be realistic about it. Because what can often happen is that valley of despair. And I want to talk about the steps that goes into that valley of despair. I want everybody to put a post-it note or a piece of paper together right now that says CTA. Catch yourself thinking. Okay? Catch yourself, CTA. Right. Those of you that are in marketing know that a CTA is a call to action. Because I'm a marketeer, I sleep and breathe these words. I did not mean to say CTA. It's not a call to action. It's CYT, not PYT, Michael Jackson, but CYT, which is catch yourself thinking. Okay, I often got it in the window because in our kitchen, that's where I wash up. And sometimes my thoughts start going into negative and low vibrations. I see that CYT and instantly I'm like, boom, I don't need to be thinking about that.
So explain a little bit more on catching something.
So I'm going to explain it now. I'm going to explain it now, Maria, and what CYT, why you use it. So generally what happens is, and 1st of January is one of the best examples, but this happens not just on the 1st of January. So the first thing is you get excited about something. So something happens within you and you're like, oh my God, woo! You're just mega excited. That excitement makes you feel like you can conquer the world. It gives you all the possibilities in life. You feel like this excitement that you've got, whether it's an idea, something's happening, is going to bring you to that next level, okay? And you get really, really excited. How many of you sometimes get good news within a day and you're so excited that you can't concentrate? I mean, I generally suffer from ADD, so that's me. But I want you to put it into the chat. How many of you sometimes get so excited, it's like you don't know where to start with your day? And it's often that's the feeling that you get. So 1st of January comes, you're excited. It's a new year. You're feeling like this is the year where it's all going to change. This is the year where no more, I'm not going to work for the white man. Yes, I said it. I'm not going back into the corporate BS. I love myself. I respect myself. I'm not saying everybody says this. I was just giving, I'm probably going to get cancelled on social media this week, by the way. I'm just saying, like, let's keep it real. These are the things that we say behind closed doors. This week, it's the top 100 most powerful Black women. We are shutting the door together and we're going to say what the hell we want.
Oh, tell them.
Sorry, because when we all close our door, we all say what we want to say. Okay, so you get excited. Then after that excitement comes 1st of January, you're thinking about all the possibilities. You're thinking, Christmas is just over. Let me give myself a chance to get back into it. You know, it's cold outside. After having those week or days or couple of weeks off, however long you have off, you feel like, you know what, let me give myself a minute. Let me give myself some time. That's called you, look at my diagram, avoiding it. Okay, and then after we've avoided it because we haven't quite started, that's where the excuses might come in. You know, the children, if they weren't so demanding and irritated, sorry, I'm only joking. If the children weren't so demanding, if my boss wasn't such a particular type of person, you know, if it wasn't for my knee injury, I might be able to get to the gym and shift this weight. They all come. And I don't mean to sound like my parents. I don't know how many of you, your parents used to say things to you, and then now you're older, you find them saying them back to your children or repeating them. You've got to take accountability, because when you point a finger, you've got 3 fingers that point back at you. Okay, so we fall into excuses, it being somebody else's fault, it being circumstances, it being lack of money, a multitude of things. Then what happens? We go into blame mode. That's when we start blaming people, blaming situations, blaming life. And then what happens? We get down in the dumps, and to put ourselves back out of it, what do? We get excited about something else. Okay. And when you get excited about something else, what do? You start that cycle over. So you tend to start that cycle over and over and over and over. And some of us live there. Yes. Okay. And for when you're in business, what can often happen is you get excited and you try something. When you don't get the results of what you're trying, you try something new. And that's how you end up in the valley of despair. If you're not tracking and you're not using data, you've got no idea what works or doesn't not work, because you never give it enough time. You go through these emotions so much that you keep starting new things, meaning you don't really know what works from what doesn't work. If there's any one thing about this digital age, it is about being consistent. Okay, so we want to avoid the failure cycle.
Shiny syndrome.
SOS, shiny object syndrome, where everything looks shiny. You think it's going to be all great if you just do this one thing. If you could just achieve this one thing, it's going to get you out of where you are, and then you'll be fine. You'll be able to move forward. Okay, so we want to stay out of this failure cycle, and the summit is going to help you stay out of it. But how do you know what it is that you've got to concentrate on? How do you know how to really stay focused on your goals? So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to stay focused. Number 1, many of us set the wrong goals. And I want you to be honest and tell me who these people are. Wrong goals can often come from your goals either being way too low. Who are the people that set their goals and they're quite low? You can achieve them quite easily. You're not stretching themselves. I don't believe that, Maria. I'm not having that. You're here at this summit. But some of us do. How many of them, and this one is definitely me, set them so high, they're unrealistic. So you're going to find it really difficult to meet it. Okay? So hence that I'm 47. I'm still striving for my goals because they've just been so high for so long. So wrong goals are a way that you can often fall back into that procrastination, that failure cycle. Unclear focus. This is where I'm coming from. Even when we pray as women, we're not specific. You need to make sure you've got clear goals. You should be able to close your eyes and really see what it is that you're going for. Like, my husband's just walked in the room, my eyes are closed, and I'm dreaming of my 50th in Turks and Caicos. like you got to be able to have clear focus. You've got to be able to see it. When we talk about visualization, ladies, you've got to be able to visualize. Visualize means being able to see what's on the screen of your mind. Shakespeare said, what's on the screen of your mind is about what's about to go and happen. Okay, so you've got to be able to have that clear focus. You've got to be able to see it. You've got to be able to have an action plan, ladies. Action plans are really important. We put together action plans. You know, some of us use Gantt charts. We use Asana. We use Monday.com. We use ClickUp. And, you know, we're putting action plans together. We write documents. We use ChatGPT. We use Claude. There's so much technology and AI. I'm going to be honest with you. We've all got action plans, especially those of you are project management natured and you're very organized. Okay? You've got action plans. The problem is that you haven't thought about what's my goal and what's the end destination. And to get to that end destination, what is it that I've got to do throughout the year? What is it that I've got to do every month? What is it that I've got to do every week? What is it that I've got to do every day? What is it that I've got to do every hour? Okay, really important. You've got to be able to break it down into chunk size. It's like saying a telephone number. Okay, when you say, you know, 077 565 888, you chunk it out. You've got to be able to have a plan that can be detailed down from the hour to the year. Okay. And the last one is, you know, really, really important. It's the mental barriers. And this is the one that holds us back the most. So whether this is teachers, parents, siblings, friends, the bad boyfriend, that hopefully is a bad ex-boyfriend, these are the mental barriers of people that tell you that you are not good enough. Okay, you have to understand and know and love yourself. You got to know who you are and what it is. You've got a gift. God blesses every single one of us with a gift. Some of us, it just takes longer to figure out what that gift is than others. So those that haven't, do not pull it. Don't let it get in your way. You know, it took me a long time to actually really understand what my gift is. But mental barriers of what you think of yourself, what people have told you about yourself is a big thing that will hold you back. Okay, and that's where we come down to this little comic man here. On average, did you know we have 40 to 60,000 thoughts a day? Okay, which is absolutely phenomenal. Your brain is always talking to yourself. Always. You've got a self script that goes constantly. So when you ask someone, what are they thinking? And they're saying nothing, they're a liar, to put it bluntly, because we're always thinking. Okay, we are always thinking. But the problem is those 40 to 60,000 thoughts, 99% of the population actually think about the past. And the past is what really holds you back. Okay. And you want to break free from the past. Now, not that simple. I'm someone that doesn't really think about the past. I think about the future. But I spent many years so busy thinking about the future that I'm not living in the now. And the problem with not living in the now is, number one, you don't get to enjoy life and you don't get to feel it, because you're always either trying to race to the place that you're not at yet. And for many of us, the past, some horrible things have happened in the past, and you just keep looking back. But we change. You can't keep going back to your 20-year-old self, because you've changed. You're not that person anymore. The people that have made you feel the way that you feel might not be in it. Okay, I'm seeing some brilliant things go off in the chat. Keep going, keep communicating with one another. Okay, so those 40 to 60,000 thoughts, this is where, Maria, catch yourself thinking comes in. You've got to be able to control your mind and stop thinking about the past, all the things that went wrong. You've got to stop thinking about, you have to think about the future, because the future is what's visualization. You just don't want to be like me and live your whole life in the future, because then you're never doing anything in the now to get to the future. I had to break that pattern. So some of you might be like me, where you're thinking too much about the future. But you've got to be able to live in the now, and you've got to be able to have the vision that's going to pull you out the past and the now. And that vision, that belief is what will pull you into the future. Okay? You've got to become other people centered.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, please do.
So you have all those thoughts a day, but do you know that like 90% of them are subconscious?
Your subconscious is going all the time,
so
unfortunately.
It's important not only to feed your current mind, but the things that are going on subconsciously are very important as well. So.
Yep, your subconscious mind is always, unfortunately, Maria's right, working against you. So you've got to feed your mind with the right information. Now, how do you do that? You do that by vision. Okay, vision's really important. One of the things you want to do is become other people centered. You see those high ticket coaches that have ripped all of us off? Yeah, I said it again. I'm just killing it today, aren't I? Those of you that have had a high ticket coach rip you off, drop it in the chat. What they sold you is transformation. They haven't sold you anything other than what you think you could be. You could have told yourself that for $10,000. And I'm not throwing shade because I'm one of them poor souls that are being ripped off. Thank you, Thank you, Sarah. I'm preaching it and talking it today. Okay, I have wasted a lot of money on transformation, and that's down to my own poor belief system. Because I think that, you know, someone who is white and educated and they're really wealthy, I want to be like them. So if I want to be like them, I'm going to follow what they say. They then sell me a program, but what they want to do is give me a layer of the onion at a time for $10,000 a piece, which just leaves me in a state of having no money. What you will notice, especially with the rise of AI, some of you might notice there are a lot of high speakers that have now gone out of business. Why? Because you've got to be other people centered. If you're not other people centered, you're not going to have any longevity in what you're doing, to be quite honest with you. Top 100 most powerful women is about being other people centered. We have to be other people centered, because if we care about one another and we know the services and products that we offer one another is only going to bring us good and bring us to a place of solution. If we've got a problem, we're going to do nothing but prosper. Okay, King Solomon, Proverbs. So it's really, really important that you have that vision, your visual faculty, you know, the scripts where you're talking to yourself. It's really important that you do all of that, because that's what's going to keep you out of that failure cycle. Okay, that's what's going to get you to reach your goals and reach your focus. As I'm talking, make sure you write your notes down. There's going to be gaps in this that you're going to see. This is where I need help. These are the topics that you should be looking at the summit that's going to help to pull you through to success. Okay. And the last thing, as I wrap this up, is just that, you know, you've got to be really conscious, lady, of your current reality. And this is where social media just goes completely against this, if you want me to be honest with you. The amount of posts that I see, it's gotten to the point that I don't even really enjoy going on Instagram anymore. If I see one more influencer that gets up in her modeled kitchen that looks really perfect, in her island and her clear glass coffee cup with the most expensive appliances, looking really fresh faced with great makeup, great clothing on, designer stuff, it's got to a point where it's kind of like, it's quite obvious that these are not your current reality. You've got to be able to say, this is where I am. Okay, you've got to be able to say, you know, I've just about pulled this summit off. I've taken every